welcome back to the channel for my episode review and analysis of Season 11, Episode 5, Boobytraps and How to Survive Them. So the episode starts out with the ninja trying to convince Clutch Powers to take them inside the tomb, and he says no, and nothing will change his mind. Very conveniently, he gets a call from his supervisor saying that he's been kicked out of the Explorers Club. Yay, plot convenience, so he decides to take the ninja into the tomb. So they dodge a few traps, they go over a bridge, slide down the slide and avoid some spikes. And then at the bottom of the slide, they see the skeleton who is named Hagman and was a colleague of Clutch Powers. Most likely a reference to the fact that the Hagmans have stopped working on Ninjago and they're dead now? Okay. The ninjas solve this puzzle to create a mural of Asphira, and Zane reads some hieroglyphics, and then pretty much Asphira comes out of the tomb all depowered, and she starts fighting the ninja and stuff. Clutch Powers, being the coward that he is, immediately flees. Then Asphira steals Kai's powers, gets powered up, and chains the ninja to the wall. Then she goes out and confronts Clutch Powers, asking him to take her to the nearest village, and he reveals that Ninjago City is a thing. So then the entire pyramid erupts, and Asphira leaves with the Fire Fang. So I've already done a video on my full thoughts on Asphira as the villain, and yeah, this is pretty much it. I don't think she's amazing. She's definitely not like Garmadon or Harumi or Moro, but I think she's a pretty good villain so far, definitely better than the Iron Baron and the Omega Oni. So yeah, I think that's great. I think her dialogue is very well written. Definitely one of the highlights of this season so far has been her dialogue. Although I'm hoping that, anger and revenge seem to be her main qualities, the thing that's going for her character. But I'm hoping that revenge isn't super redundant throughout the season, seeing as that's kind of become a joke in the community, revenge. So yeah, I think overall she's pretty solid so far. And I also like the animation during the fight scene too, especially the different poses that we saw Asphira doing during the fight scene, right before she did Spinjitzu and stuff. And yeah, seeing another villain who's doing Spinjitzu is really cool. We've seen Garmadon, Overlord, and now Asphira doing Spinjitzu. Another reminder that Spinjitzu is not just for good guys. I mean, bad guys can do it for evil causes too. So I think that was really cool. And also the fight scene at the end, yeah, that was really cool. I love the dialogue and just the fight too. It was a great fight scene. The first, real important fight scene of this episode. The pyramid as a location is also very, very cool too. I like the Egyptian influence on the pyro snakes and the desert too. And I liked all the different traps that the ninja explored throughout this episode in the pyramid as well. And Zane's brief vision and him reading the hieroglyphics, slowly realizing that this snake sorceress was none other than the one that appeared in his vision. I thought that tension unfolding and the suspense that unfolded as the viewer also realized that. I thought that was great, and for the most part, this episode was really good, the first non-filler episode, and it really helped to push the plot forward. One of the things that a lot of fans instantly didn't like was Clutch Powers, and I can agree with this. In the original movie, he's supposed to be like an explorer who's actually motivated, and this just seems really lame for a character who's supposed to be a fearless explorer, the guy who discovered the Fang Blade. And yeah, Clutch Powers is definitely a big letdown so far. I like his voice acting, but I feel like as a character, he's just kind of there to be funny, and he's not really anything more than that. I don't like at all that he decided to flee the fight, and that he was so reluctant and so hesitant to take the ninja inside the pyramid. When that is his job, it's pretty much just a much lazier version of the character we saw in the movie. So yeah, I'm definitely not a big fan of Clutch Powers so far. On top of that, I didn't like the whole Explorers Club thing. Definitely plot convenience. So yeah, I do think there are better ways of doing that. He could have just agreed to have taken in the ninja from the start. The whole Explorers Club thing was definitely not needed. And the Hagman joke, I don't know, is it me or does that joke kind of seem a little bit wrong? Like a little bit offensive? Portraying the Hagman brothers as skeletons, I guess? I don't really know, but something definitely felt off about that. It didn't necessarily feel funny. It was a weird reference, so I'm interested to see how the rest of the community receives that joke as well. But yeah, some of the humor in this episode did feel off, but I think definitely the fight scenes and the actual moving towards the real plot of the season did make up for it. And one last thing, this isn't an issue with the episode, really, but this episode name was not that good. I don't really like this episode name, and it doesn't really fit the episode very well, seeing as this episode is pretty important to the plot, so this episode name wasn't that good. So here are my final thoughts for this episode. The plot of this episode is definitely, I think, the best of the season so far, including all of the 8 episodes that we've had released. It actually finally moves towards the plot, shows us some of the villains, and for that, I'm definitely glad that we are finally moving towards the plot of the season. That's something that the season has really been putting off. So yeah, I thought that was great. I love the whole Egyptian influence, and the pyramid is a really cool location too. All the various traps inside of it were cool too. Yeah, characters, Asphyra was pretty cool. I've already brought that up. Clutch Powers, on the other hand, was definitely a big letdown. So yeah, Clutch Powers is not good, but Asphyra's cool, I guess. So I like her so far. And moving on from that, let's talk about the action of this episode. The fight scene was really, really good. I'll say that. I really loved the fight scene. Seeing another villain doing Spinjitzu now, it's been a long time since we've seen a new villain do Spinjitzu. And yeah, so I thought that was cool. I'm glad that we're seeing a Spinjitzu focused season with villains who do Spinjitzu and stuff. So I thought that was great. It's really cool to see someone doing Spinjitzu. And even as they're absorbing Kai's power too and powering up, that was very, very cool. I loved how they did that. And yeah, I mean, I thought all in all, the action of this episode was pretty good. And for emotion too, I mean, I guess we'll skip that. Emotion is more something that was definitely centered towards the Oni trilogy episodes. Those are very emotion heavy episodes. But yeah, I mean, I think that'll be all for my final thoughts. In the end, I'm going to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. It was a pretty good episode for the most part, but definitely some parts of this episode did not feel that good. Mainly Clutch Powers and his Explorers Club. And the Hickman joke felt a little bit off to me. But yeah, all in all, this episode was pretty good. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share it with anyone ever you know. Let me know what you thought of this episode and how you would rate it. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.